The emergency beacon fired through space, reaching James Miller's quarters on Earth Embassy Station. His coffee mug paused halfway to his lips as the message flashed across his desk screen. Council demands your presence. Xanthan Prime. Immediate. Departure required. Saturday morning, James muttered, setting down his coffee. Can't even get through breakfast. The Galactic Council chamber gleamed with 1,000 alien forms. James had been here countless times, but the atmosphere felt different. Heavy. Wrong. His diplomatic instincts screamed warning. Ambassador Miller, Vex Tarquo's crystal voice echoed through the hall. As council leader, the towering being stood at the center of the semicircle. Light bent around his transparent form. We have reached a decision. James straightened his jacket. Of course, Leader Quo. How may humanity assist today? Humanity will not assist, Vextar declared. Humanity will leave. The words hung in the air. James blinked. I'm sorry. After extensive review, this council finds human methods dangerous to galactic stability. The crystal being's voice remained emotionless. Your reckless exploration practices, your uncontrolled expansion, your tendency to meddle with forces. You barely comprehend. We cannot allow it to continue. Whispers filled the chamber. James spotted Narathi Ambassador Zathani waving her tentacles in what he knew meant distress. The insectoid Kryn delegates clicked their mandibles in nervous patterns. With respect, James began, choosing his words carefully. Humanity has contributed significantly to galactic society. Our medical research alone has saved billions of lives across hundreds of species. We acknowledge minor contributions. Vexitar waved dismissively with a crystalline appendage. However, the risks outweigh any benefits. You have 48 hours to withdraw all human presence from beyond your borders. James felt his stomach drop. All human presence? We have colonies, research stations, trade outposts. All human presence, Vextar repeated. The vote has been taken. The decision is final. I must protest this decision, came a voice from the gallery. Dr. Lisa Morgan stood, her research coat wrinkled from the emergency summons. The council doesn't understand what they're asking. Vextar turned his massive form toward her. The council understands perfectly, Dr. Morgan. Your species has been given ample opportunity to demonstrate restraint. You have failed. Lisa's hands gripped the railing. It's not about restraint. If humans leave, the Universal Stability Network will— The what? Another council member, Grethka of the Tarkonian Empire, leaned forward in his anti-gravity throne. The Universal Stability Network, Lisa repeated slowly. The quantum lattice that maintains gravitational equilibrium across the galaxy. We discovered it. We've been maintaining it. Laughter rippled through the chamber. Not kind laughter. You expect us to believe, Grethka sneered, his tri-jointed arms spreading wide, that you primitives have been maintaining something we, with our superior science, haven't even detected? James saw Lisa's jaw clench. He'd worked with her long, enough to recognize the signs. With respect, Lisa said, her voice tight with control. Your superior science hasn't prevented the microfractures we've been patching in the Orion Arm, or the gravitational eddies in the Crab Nebula, or the time dilation anomalies near Xanthan Prime. More laughter, dismissive, cruel. Enough of this fiction, Vextar declared. Your 48 hours begin now. Remove yourselves. We will manage without your imagination. James felt a tap on his shoulder. Ambassador Zathani had floated over on her personal grav field. I am sorry, James, she whispered, her tentacles brushing his arm in the Narathi gesture of deep regret. We voted against this, the Kryn too, but the others— 63 against. James read the numbers on his personal display. 14 for, 12 abstentions. He looked up at his longtime friend. The math doesn't care about friends, does it? The chamber began emptying. Aliens of every shape and size filed out, some avoiding eye contact with the human delegation. Others stared with open hostility. Mr. Ambassador? One of his aides appeared beside him. Priority message from Earth. Defense Command. They want to know how to proceed. James checked his chronometer. The evacuation would be massive. Colonies that had existed for generations. Research stations that pushed the boundaries of science. Children who had never seen Earth. Tell them, he paused. Tell them we comply with the Council's demands, full evacuation within deadline. Sir? The aide's face paled. The colonies alone will take weeks to evacuate properly. We have 48 hours, James replied grimly. Get me Captain Bradley. Tell him to mobilize the evacuation fleet. Dr. Morgan approached as the aide hurried away. James, you have to make them understand. If we abandon the USN maintenance cycles, the decay will start immediately. 3 months, maybe 4. Then everything starts breaking down. They don't believe you, James said. They don't believe any of us. But you believe me, right? Lisa grabbed his arm. You've seen the data. You know what we do out there. James met her eyes. The truth was, he did know. He'd seen reports classified beyond cosmic secret. Humanity's quantum physicists had discovered something fundamental about how the galaxy held together. Like a web of gravity and energy, invisible to most sensors but essential for everything. I believe you, he said quietly. But belief doesn't change votes. They stood in silence as the chamber emptied further. Vextar Quo remained, his crystalline form casting rainbow patterns on the floor. Your compliance is noted, the council leader said. Perhaps this will teach your species humility. James looked at the alien who had just sentenced countless species to cosmic catastrophe, even if Vextar didn't know it yet. Perhaps it will, he replied. Perhaps it will teach others something far more important. As they left the chamber, Lisa pulled out her personal communicator. I'm sending my research data to every independent scientist I know, human and non-human. If the council won't listen, maybe someone else will. Be careful, James warned. They'll call it treason. They can call it whatever they want. Lisa's fingers flew over the holographic interface. I'm not letting this galaxy die because of pride. Outside, their shuttle waited. Through the transparent aluminum windows, Xanthan Prime sprawled below, them a city of crystal spires and floating gardens, seat of galactic power for the last 600 years. Sir? The pilot turned back. Where to? Earth Embassy Station first, James ordered. Then, we pack up a civilization. As the shuttle lifted away from the council building, James wondered if this was how it ended. Not with war, or plague, or accident, but with a vote. A simple majority deciding that humanity was too dangerous to remain. Yet as he watched Xanthan Prime shrink below them, something stirred in his chest. Not defeat, something else. Humans had built too much, discovered too much, to simply walk away forever. The council might exile them now, but James suspected, no, knew, that humanity would have the last word in this conversation. The galaxy just didn't realize it yet. The USS Liberty hung in space like a promise of order amid chaos. Its command deck hummed with activity, as Captain Aaron Bradley coordinated the largest evacuation in human history. Status report, he barked, his coffee spilling slightly as the ship adjusted its position near Gamma Colony 7. Sir, Lieutenant Jake Morrison called from communications. We've got 27 ships waiting to dock. Colonists are bringing everything they can carry. Aaron rubbed his temples. Tell them standard baggage limits. We can't haul furniture across the galaxy. They're asking about pets, sir. Family photos. Musical instruments. Pack light, Aaron muttered, though his heart ached. These people had built lives here. Next status? Evacuation is proceeding as ordered, reported Dr. Patricia Walsh, the ship's chief engineer. Her grease-stained uniform showed she'd been working non-stop. But sir, the council isn't waiting for us to shut things down properly. Explain. They're sending their own people to take over our stations right now. Pat pulled up a display showing alien crews attempting to access human facilities. None of them understand our tech. They're making it worse. Aaron clenched his fist. How bad? Tau Station's quantum stabilizers are already showing stress readings. Without proper shutdown procedures, we might see local space warping within hours, not months. Can we slow down their takeover? We're not supposed to interfere with their staff, sir. But, Pat smiled slightly. Maybe we accidentally uploaded our English-only operation manuals instead of the translated versions. That's terrible, Aaron said without conviction. What's the status on other colonies? The holographic display changed. Red dots, human colonies, flickered across galactic space. Some were already turning yellow as evacuation succeeded. Others blinked urgently in orange. New Singapore is proving difficult, reported Commander Ryan Foster, the ship's tactical officer. Population 300,000. They need more ships. Reroute the Constellation and Star Runner. What about research stations? Most cooperating. Sir, but Quantum Lab 9? Ryan shook his head. Dr. Charles Wright refuses to leave. Says his research is too important. Put me through. The screen changed. Dr. Wright appeared, his white beard wild with stress, his lab visible behind him with its incomprehensible displays of quantum mathematics. Charles, Aaron said, we're past negotiation time. Aaron, we're so close to solving the quantum harmonics problem. If we can stabilize the resonance patterns, the Council doesn't care about your research. They want us gone. They're fools. Wright slammed his fist on his desk. Do you know what we've discovered here? The fabric of space-time itself has patterns. Beautiful mathematical patterns that... 36 hours remaining, Charles. The old scientist's shoulders slumped. Will you at least let me transmit my research data? Send everything. We'll download it on the Liberty. 10 minutes, then we're bringing you home. The screen went dark. Aaron sighed. Stories like this played out. Across the galaxy, humans building, discovering, living, now forced to abandon it all. Captain, Ensign Amy Chen burst through the doors. Emergency signal from Mars outpost. They've detected alien ships converging on their position. Council ships. Our deadline isn't up. They're saying humans are moving too. Slowly. They want to accelerate the process. Aaron felt something cold settle in his stomach. Yellow alert. Prepare to jump to Mars outpost. The Liberty's engines roared to life. As they dropped into hyperspace, Aaron pulled up the schedule. 47 colonies, 183 research stations, 92 diplomatic outposts. All to be emptied in less than 2 days. Sir? Ensign Chen returned. We're receiving another transmission. It's everywhere. She loaded the universal frequency. A calm male voice spoke. To all species in the civilized galaxy, this is Commander Ryan Foster of humanity. We wish to inform you that the Universal Stability Network will begin experiencing decay once final human maintenance teams withdraw. Initial gravitational anomalies are expected in the Orion Arm within 3 standard months. We recommend all species verify their shield and navigation systems before that time. We will not issue further warnings after this. Aaron nodded approvingly. Good work, Ryan. Short, factual, no blame. Thank you, sir. I also sent the full technical manuals to every scientific database I could access. If they want to try fixing it themselves, they won't, Pat interjected. Their pride won't let them admit we understand something they don't. The Liberty dropped out of hyperspace near Mars outpost. 3 unknown ships circled the facility. On the comm screen, Outpost Commander Linda Martinez appeared, her face worried. Captain Bradley, thank God, these ships are demanding immediate access to our quantum relay station. They're threatening force. Did they provide credentials? They say the Council gave them authority. Aaron straightened his uniform. Put me through to those ships. The lead ship's commander appeared. A Gorthian, 6-armed and aggressive. Human, Fessel. You will not interfere with Council operations. With respect, Commander. Thexara, 1st Tactical Wing. Commander Thexara, you have until we complete evacuation. That was the Council's order. The Council may change orders. 2 of his arms gestured angrily. Your time limit was generous. Too generous. We're moving as fast as physics allows. unless you have faster-than-light technology for planet-to-ship transfers. The alien's multiple eyes narrowed. You mock council authority, I state facts. Coordinate your arrival for after evacuation completion or file a complaint. Bradley out. As the Gorthian ships retreated slightly, Aaron felt satisfied, but knew this confrontation meant more to come. Pat, how many times can we jump today? 3, maybe 4. The engines need cooldown. Then we prioritize. Linda, finish up Mars Outpost. Ryan, get those reports from every station. Which ones are the council targeting next? Most want our defense stations, sir. They're worried about our tech level. Aaron smiled grimly. Let them worry. We're complying with evacuation, not surrender. Days blurred together. Jump, evacuate, jump again. Human families boarded ships with tearful farewells to homes they'd known for generations. Scientists packed research data more carefully than personal belongings. Children clutched alien pets that might not survive on Earth. Pat worked miracles keeping the Liberty running. Crew rotations became meaningless, as everyone stayed at stations for 20-hour shifts. The medical bay filled with exhausted but determined personnel, treating stress cases and space sickness. By hour 40 of their deadline, 90% of humans had been evacuated. The remaining 10% included the hardest cases, deep space researchers, those who had married aliens, children born between stars. Captain, Ryan reported, we've got a problem at Station Kelvin. The chief engineer there, Mary Rodriguez, says the alien team replacing her is already breaking things. How bad? They removed the quantum phase stabilizers to study them. Now, they're trying to put them back. Wrongly, the station's creating micro black holes. Get me Mary. Mary's face appeared, harried but professional. Behind her, alarms blared. Captain, I kept telling them, these components connect in specific harmonics. They're treating it like simple machinery. Can you fix it? If I had a week, but they've ordered me off the station. They're threatening to open fire if I don't leave in the next hour. The weight of frustration pressed on Aaron. Then leave, Mary, do it properly. Hand over all the documentation again. They already threw away the first copies, said human writing is too confusing. Then leave, Aaron repeated. That's an order. Hours ticked by. Ships arrived at the rendezvous point inside human space. Each brought stories, some funny, some sad, all marking the end of humanity's galactic expansion. With 3 hours remaining, Aaron prepared for one final broadcast. The Liberty's cameras recorded him, tired but unbroken. To all species of the Galactic Council, humanity has complied with your directive. All personnel and equipment have been withdrawn from outside our borders. We leave behind detailed instructions for maintaining all systems we managed. We hope you use them. He paused. Know this. We bore you no ill will now. We'll answer distress calls within our reach. We'll share medical knowledge freely, but we won't beg for your friendship. The recording ended. Aaron slumped in his chair. How many made it? 2.3 million evacuated, Ryan reported. 17,000 tons of research data, 400 pets. Losses? 3 researchers chose to stay with alien spouses. 27 individuals, unaccounted for, probably already in hiding on non-council planets. And Station Kelvin suffered a gravitational anomaly during alien takeover. No casualties, but the station's position shifted by 50,000 kilometers. The alien crew requested immediate help. What did you tell them? I reminded them we were no longer allowed in their space and disconnected. Aaron nodded slowly. Take us home, Ryan. Standard speed, no looking back. As the Liberty turned toward Earth, sensors detected something odd, a message probing their frequencies. Friendly coded. Kryn encryption. Sir, Jake announced. Unauthorized message from Kryn Space. Text only. We saved the manuals. Keep broadcasting coordinates. Some things are more important than council. Aaron allowed himself the first real smile in days. Reply, frequency saved. Friends remember friends. 3 weeks after the last human ship crossed into their territory, The first reports arrived. Slight gravitational disturbance, Orion Arm, Sector 94. The message arrived at Xanthan Prime's Observatory Department. They filed it under non-urgent anomalies and forgot about it. 4 days later, another report. Trade route navigation error near Betelgeuse. Ships arriving 0.002 standard hours off schedule. The Trade Guild dismissed it as human-grade equipment malfunction. They'd used human navigation aids extensively, systems that suddenly stopped working properly after the Exodus. Dr. Robert Chen read these reports with growing concern in his quarters on Station Haven. The non-human scientist maintained his position as an independent contractor. The Council hadn't specifically expelled non-Council humans, and Station Haven paid well for his quantum physics expertise. Log entry, he recorded, checking his chronometer. 23 days post-human withdrawal. Predicted microfractures appearing on schedule. Council scientists still haven't accessed abandoned USN stations. A knock interrupted his dictation. Dr. Chen? Ambassador Skrill of the Kryn entered, his insectoid form clicking nervously. I've accessed the abandoned research station in Sector 12. The human manuals. They're incomprehensible. Chen smiled sadly. That's because you're trying to read them like instruction manuals. They're partial differential equations describing quantum harmonic resonances. But humans made it work. Humans spent 3 centuries just understanding what they'd found. You expect to master it in weeks? Skrill's compound eyes shifted colors. My people saved copies of everything. We believe humans spoke truth about the USN. Where's everyone else? Pride. The insect ambassador made a clicking sound that translated as disgust. Council hired Tarkonian physicists to improve the system. They're treating quantum stabilizers like simple machines. Chen's tablet chimed. Speaking of which, he opened the message and frowned. Time dilation report from the Crab Nebula. Increasing frequency. Time dilation. Space-time fabric showing. Stress patterns. Without proper USN maintenance, reality itself starts bending. Warning lights suddenly flared in the corridor. The station's AI announced, gravitational anomaly detected. Sector 94, severity, minor. Chen and Skrill exchanged looks. Sector 94, Chen whispered. That's where they reported disturbances 3 weeks ago. Should we inform the Council? Chen checked his calendar. They meet tomorrow about the Tarkonian Empire's mining dispute. I'll request to attend. The following day, Chen faced the council chamber. Most members displayed boredom as he approached the central platform. Honored Council, he began formally. I request permission to present crucial findings about the Universal Stability Network. Vex Tarquo's crystal form shimmered. The Council has appointed the Tarkonian Empire to manage this alleged network. Your concerns should be directed to them. With respect, the Tarkonian team hasn't contacted human experts. They're making dangerous assumptions. Silence! Grethka of the Tarkonian Empire rose. Your species left obsolete technology. We've already improved efficiency by 30%. Improved? Chen barely held his composure. You've reduced containment field strength to dangerous levels. The quantum harmonics. Simplified statistics. Grethka waved dismissively. Our crystal matrix processing is superior to organic brain power. A distant chime sounded. Emergency alert level 7. 3 Tarkonian mining colonies lost contact, reported a council aide. Gravitational anomaly reported. Correction, 4 colonies, 5. Chen spoke quickly. The USN degradation is accelerating. Without human-maintained protocols, you'll see sector-wide collapses within weeks. Coincidence, Grethka declared. No proof of causation, but whispers spread through the chamber. 5 colonies gone silent meant thousands missing. Perhaps, suggested Ambassador Zathani carefully, we should investigate these coincidences. Days blurred into emergency sessions. Reports flooded in, navigation systems failing across major trade routes, time sync errors between planets, gravity wells shifting unexpectedly, sensor networks reporting non-existent objects. Chen spent sleepless nights analyzing data, confirming predictions. Each report matched his projections exactly. Meanwhile, on the fringes of council space, something remarkable happened. Agent Susan Wright operated from Freeport Station, technically neutral space. Her intelligence background helped her slip past normal communication blocks. She began broadcasting on old frequencies. USN emergency protocols. Day 49. Post-abandonment. Partial stabilization, possible if completed within next 12 hours. She repeated coordinates and procedures. Some species received them, some understood. The Narathi are trying, she reported to her human handler. They caught on quickly to the harmonic mathematics. The Kryn too. But the big powers? Prides. Killing them. Space traffic began redirecting. Ships avoiding areas Chen's models predicted as dangerous. Smart captains trusted the warnings. Others dismissed them as human fear-mongering. The council meeting on day 57 convened in crisis mode. Xanthan Prime is experiencing temporal anomalies, Senior Counselor Rathek announced. He was one of the older members, nearing his crystal life cycle's end. Time moves faster in the upper districts. My staff aged days during an hour-long meeting. Council. Leader Vextar Quo maintained composure, though his crystal form no longer sparkled as brightly. Dr. Chen, your predictions appear accurate. What solutions remain? Chen hesitated. He'd waited for this moment but hadn't expected it to come with such devastating speed. Limited options exist. The USN's core systems maintain partial function, but full restoration requires human understanding of quantum harmonics. Explain. Quantum harmonics are like music, Chen simplified. Every star, every planet, every moon vibrates on specific frequencies. The USN helps match these vibrations, preventing discord. Humans learned to hear this cosmic symphony. We built instruments to conduct it. How long to teach others? To reach human-level competency? Generations. To handle emergencies? Perhaps decades. Thunder. Actual thunder inside the protected chamber. Reality warped slightly as gravitational fields fluctuated. We don't have decades, Vextar admitted. Chen pulled out his tablet, finger hovering over the communication button. I can contact human authorities, but understand, they're under no obligation to help. You expelled them entirely. Contact them, Vextar commanded. We request assistance. The message went out. Chen observed faces in the chamber, proud beings humbled by cosmic forces they'd mocked. Meanwhile, Susan Wright's broadcasts continued. She'd made contact with sympathetic species secretly. The Kryn scientist Thrika reported progress implementing partial stabilizers. Human right, Thrika buzzed urgently. Our improvements succeed in Sector 7-7, gravitational disturbance. Decreased by 18%. That's excellent, Thrika. Share your modifications. Others can learn from your work. Species began trading information, bypassing official channels. The Aquari shared ocean world specifics. The Silicon Collective offered crystal-based solutions. Slowly, a network of cooperation formed outside council control. But for every success, 3 failures occurred. The Borthak cluster's attempt to optimize USN stations resulted in a micro-black hole forming. 3 planets evacuated as their nearest star destabilized. The cascade is beginning, Chen warned the council on day 79. When one system fails, it puts pressure on neighboring systems. Like a dam breaking, small leaks can lead to catastrophic collapse. How long before? Vextar stopped mid-sentence as his interior light flickered. The very air felt wrong. Ambassador. Sethani grabbed Chen's arm. We received an unofficial transmission from Earth. They're watching, recording everything, but they say the council must request help. Specifically. Another thunder crack. The chamber's protective field wavered. We've sent messages, Grethka protested. Even the proud Tarkonian looked frightened now. Wrong messages, Chen explained. They want official acknowledgement, a council resolution, an apology perhaps. They want you to own your mistake. Tiki. Debate raged while space-time continued unraveling. Some members argued for pride they could solve this themselves. Others feared extinction outweighed dignity. Finally, after 17 hours of discussion, the council voted. Resolution 47B9. Recognition of human technological expertise. Status. Adopted vote. 73-4-5. The carefully worded document admitted error, requested assistance, and promised cooperation. As the message transmitted to Earth, Chen felt exhausted relief, but also fear. The decay had reached critical acceleration, and he knew what few others suspected. Even with human help, saving everything might no longer be possible. In Sector 94, the first microfracture widened. A star hiccuped. Its flare extended further than usual, consuming an orbiting research station. The Tarkonian Empire lost 17 ships to a sudden gravity well shift. On Xanthan Prime, 15 minutes passed in what residents experienced as an hour, and somewhere in the void, a quantum echo whispered across the galaxy. The death, rattle of stability itself. The countdown had begun. Day 87 marked the turning point humanity had predicted with horrifying accuracy. The distress beacon came on all frequencies: emergency, medical, diplomatic, civilian. Every communication channel screamed with the same message: void. Reach sector, supermassive black hole position shift, immediate collapse event. Dr. Patricia Walsh caught the alert first at Earth Defense Command's monitoring station. Her coffee mug slipped from her fingers as the gravity readings danced across her screen. No, 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 she whispered, fingers flying over controls. Captain Bradley, Code 7 alert. Aaron Bradley appeared beside her within seconds. Report? Sir, the Void Reach event. It's exactly what Dr. Morgan predicted. The black hole moved 30,000 light-years in 12 minutes. Aaron felt time slow as understanding dawned. Casualty count? 17 inhabited systems. Unknown population. Complete gravitational disruption. No survivors possible. An hour later, they received the first visual evidence. The Narathi observation ship, Stream of Light, transmitted images from the edge of the event. Captain Maria Scott of Earth News Council received the broadcast rights. The holographic display showed destruction on an unimaginable scale. Planets, torn apart, their cores exposed and cooling. Suns collapsing into themselves. Space stations dissolving like sugar cubes in hot coffee. Billions of lives ended in the time it took to blink. Get this to every Earth news service, Maria ordered her team. The public needs to understand what we left. In the Galactic Council chamber, panic replaced pride. How? Council leader Vextar Quo's crystal form vibrated with stress fractures. Our best scientists assured us this couldn't happen. Dr. Chen stood alone at the center. Your scientists are children playing with nuclear weapons. The Void Reach black hole was held in place by 17 interconnected gravitational anchors. The USN maintained precise harmonic balance. You removed that balance. You knew about this specific danger? Grethka demanded. Every senior human, quantum physicist knew. We cataloged over 300 similar critical points across the galaxy. Without proper maintenance, why didn't you tell us? We did. Repeatedly. You called it imagination, primitive thinking, human arrogance. Emergency protocols activated as the chamber experienced gravity fluctuations. Delegates who could float gripped whatever they could. Can it be fixed? Ambassador Zethani asked. The Void Reach? No. The system there is gone, dead space now, but the effect will cascade. Within weeks, 3 other black holes will destabilize. Another alert flashed. Then another. Reports flooded in. Tarkonian mining vessels disappeared mid-jump. Kryn orbital. Stations reported objects phasing in and out of normal space. The Borthak Collective detected gravity waves strong enough to shatter planets. Trade routes became death traps as navigation computers calculated impossible coordinates. Agent Susan Wright's emergency broadcasts reached new urgency. USN critical failure cascade confirmed. Recommend all species implement emergency protocols. Human embassy receiving limited inquiries. 300 inquiries arrived within the hour. but the Council still hadn't received a response to their official request for help. "Earth is silent," reported Communications Officer Jake Morrison at EDF headquarters. "They received our resolution acknowledging human expertise, but no reply." "They're watching," Captain Bradley responded. "Recording every request. Building leverage." "Sir, should we respond to individual species?" "No. The Council represents them. The Council makes the formal request." President Laura Bennett called an emergency session in Geneva. World leaders filled the holographic spaces around the table. "Reports confirm 17 billion dead in the Void Reach collapse," Defense Admiral David Wright reported. "Another 43 billion at risk from cascading effects. What's our response capacity?" the President asked. "We can help," answered Dr. Lisa Morgan, now Earth's chief quantum scientist. "But we can't save everything. The damage is too extensive." Chairman Kevin O'Brien of the Merchant Council spoke up. "Ma'am, if I may, we have reports of Kryn and Narathi vessels attempting to implement partial solutions. Some are having limited success, meaning some species are willing to accept human guidance without Council approval. They're saving lives." The President made her decision. "Open back channels to friendly species, limited assistance, technical support only, but I want everything documented." Back in Council space, 17 of the brightest minds across 4 species worked frantically. Skrill led the team on abandoned human station Theta 9. They'd saved every manual, copied every equation, recorded every procedure humans had left behind. "The quantum phase alignment requires precise timing," Skrill explained to his multi-species team. "Millisecond errors create ripple effects." Dr. Natasha Petrova, a human physicist who'd married a Kryn diplomat, worked alongside them. Technically, she existed in a legal gray area, not expelled but not protected. "Remember," she instructed the Aquari engineer, "the water-based cooling systems need recalibration every 6 hours. Human physiology kept them stable longer." Their first attempt at stabilizing a microfracture succeeded. The small victory spread hope through informal networks, but news also arrived of failures. The Zenthari attempted to create their own stabilization technology. The resulting explosion removed 3 moons from their 4th planet. Tarkonian scientists reversed the quantum flow. An entire star system began aging backwards, causing fatal temporal paradoxes. On day 92, the Council received Earth's preliminary response. "Humanity acknowledges Council Resolution 47B9. We are analyzing the scope of assistance required. Formal proposal pending." Vextar Quo's frustration manifested in visible energy discharge. "We need help now." Dr. Chen translated the diplomatic speak. "They're assessing how to help without completely destabilizing galactic power structures. Remember, Earth isn't doing this for free. What do they want? That's what they're deciding." Crisis compounded crisis. The USN continued degrading faster than predicted. Dr. Chen's models showed exponential acceleration. Ambassador Zethani approached him privately. "Robert, truth now. Can humans save us?" He hesitated. "Some of us, not all. The USN is like a body's circulatory system. Major arteries have been severed. Even with expert surgery, parts will die." "Which parts?" "Species that cooperated early, took warnings seriously, maintained diplomatic channels with humans, they'll likely survive. Others..." She understood. "Tarkonian Empire?" "Already lost half their fleet. Their quantum physicists caused cascade reactions in 3 sectors. Even with human help, their losses will be catastrophic." The following week brought the event everyone had feared: Xanthan Prime experiencing catastrophic time dilation. The capital of galactic government faced total collapse. Thousands of council members, diplomats, and staff trapped as time moved. Wrong. Reports trickled out through emergency channels. Centuries passed in minutes for some areas. Others experienced time reversal. Crystal beings, evolved over millions of years, could not adapt. Elder councils literally crumbled to dust as millennia of aging hit in seconds. Council leader Vexatar Quo's last broadcast came at day 97. 2 Humanity. Council acknowledges complete error. Request immediate assistance. Personal apology. Vextar quo. Leader. No more. The transmission ended mid-sentence. Visual contact showed the chamber's architecture warping, flowing like water. Security footage captured Quo's crystalline form fragmenting, each piece reflecting countless timelines before dissolving into quantum uncertainty. The Galactic Council, in its current form, had ceased to exist. Emergency leadership protocols activated. Surviving council members scattered across different stations called for immediate integration with human rescue operations. Earth News Council broadcast the pivotal moment to all of humanity. For the first time in galactic history, the species that controlled our destiny have admitted complete failure. The council that expelled us now begs for our return. Captain Bradley authorized the first direct response to alien vessels. Human rescue operations will begin in 8 hours. All species requesting assistance must agree to full integration with Earth protocols. The largest humanitarian mission in galactic history prepared to launch. But questions remained. How much could be saved? Would former enemies become true allies? Could humanity forgive? But most importantly, would they be in time? In the void, another black hole began to drift. Warning klaxons echoed through every human ship as sensors detected the final cascade. The USS Liberty's war room buzzed with urgent activity. Black hole designated NX7721 has begun migration, Dr. Patricia Walsh announced. Projected path will destabilize gravity across 200,000 light-years. Captain Aaron Bradley studied the holographic display. Red lines traced inevitable destruction. Time until impact? 17 hours before the first systems collapse. Total cascade? Less than 48 hours. President Laura Bennett's face appeared on the screen. Captain, the council representatives have formally requested immediate intervention, full priority to the colonies that supported us during the expulsion. And the others? We save who we can, in order of cooperation. The president paused. History will remember who stood with us and who didn't. The emergency response code went out. USN Restoration Protocol Alpha. All human vessels respond. Captain, Bradley led the first wave. 47 human ships jumped into the chaos, each carrying the quantum expertise the galaxy desperately needed. At Station Haven, Dr. Robert Chen coordinated with friendly aliens. Kryn ships, take position Delta 7. Narathi vessels support formation Epsilon. We're creating an emergency stabilization network. Chief Engineer Daniel Parker broadcast technical instructions. All species attempting USN repairs, stop immediately. Your interference is accelerating the collapse. Follow human protocols exactly. Some listened. Many continued to implement their own improved solutions. USN Quantum Beacon online, Parker reported from the Liberty's engineering deck. Deploying emergency stabilizers. The solution wasn't elegant. Parker's team had developed a radical approach: convert the failing USN into a controlled implosion. By creating precise gravitational echoes, they could halt the cascade, but at a price. The galaxy will be reshaped, Parker warned. Trade routes destroyed. Some systems will become unreachable, but existence itself will survive. Aaron made the hardest decision of his career. Execute the plan. Across 200,000 light-years, human ships activated their quantum beacons. Reality itself responded. The void-reach black hole continued its death drift. 17 inhabited. Systems died as predicted. But the expanding wave of destruction hit Parker's carefully placed stabilizers. It's working, someone shouted in the Liberty's control room. Space-time flickered, bent, then, remarkably, stabilized. Cascade contained, Walsh confirmed. NX7721 locked in place. Other critical points responding to the new harmonic matrix. The cost became clear. Thousands of ships found themselves stranded as hyperspace lanes collapsed. Entire sectors lost contact with galactic civilization. The proud Tarkonian Empire saw half its territory isolated behind quantum walls. Status report, Aaron demanded as alarms finally quieted. We saved 63% of inhabited systems, Walsh calculated. 14 billion displaced. Over 200 alien species requesting asylum in human space. The Council's restructuring happened within weeks. Ambassador Zathani, one of few survivors from Zenthan Prime, led the reformed body. Her first order, full restoration of human status. Humanity possesses extraordinary understanding of universal forces, she broadcast. Formally, we humbly request continued participation in galactic affairs. But the dynamics had fundamentally shifted. Species once proud now sought human teachers. The Kryn opened joint quantum research centers. Narathi offered their aquatic worlds as emergency shelters. Even former enemies begged for technological assistance. Captain Susan Martinez of the Star Runner received typical daily requests. Please help us recalibrate our navigation systems. Our food processors malfunction without human programming. Can Earth send quantum engineers? We offer mineral rights. In Washington, D.C., President Bennett signed the new Galactic Cooperation Treaty. But Earth maintained firm boundaries. We will help those who respect us, the treaty stated. We will never again be taken for granted. 6 months after the near collapse, delegates from across the galaxy gathered on Earth. Not as superiors visiting primitives, but as students seeking masters. Captain Aaron Bradley stood on his Virginia porch, watching alien ships arrive. His wife brought him coffee, the normalcy surreal after such chaos. You saved them, she said. We warned them, he corrected. They chose to learn the hard way. The holographic news showed aliens queuing at Earth's embassies, once proud species humbly requesting permission to study human science. The galaxy remained fractured, reshaped by necessity, but far more important, it remained. On his porch, Bradley sipped coffee and watched stars. Some no longer existed, others were forever unreachable. The galaxy would never be the same. But it survived. And humanity? Humanity had earned its place, not through conquest or pride, but by understanding what others had missed. The cosmic symphony played on, conducted by those who had learned to listen.